My wife said, if you can't tolerate my friend's jokes, pay the bill and leave. I stood up and said, you can pay with that ring on your finger. For me, it's over. When she realized it wasn't a joke, she exploded my phone with over 71 messages and missed calls. Sarah and I have been together for 20 years, and she'd planned this evening with her 3 friends for one reason, so I could pick up the tab, not as her husband, but as a walking credit card. Her friends were already seated, fake smiles telling me everything. These women had never liked me, and tonight, they weren't hiding it. Sarah slid in next to them, leaving me across the table like an outsider. The attack started immediately. The blonde fired first. Oh look, he actually showed up. Usually you have to drag men to girls' night, right? I smiled back. Someone has to make sure you ladies don't start a food fight. The staff here looks too classy for that. The table went quiet before Sarah forced a laugh. Instead of backing down, they doubled down. The comments got personal. How I must be grateful to have landed Sarah. How she was the catch. How I needed to step up. Each delivered with poisonous smiles. Through it all, Sarah sat there laughing. Not uncomfortable laughter, but genuine amusement. Watching me get torn down was her entertainment. I kept responses sharp. When they questioned my career, I reminded them success isn't about showing off. When they mocked my clothes, I mentioned how they noticed every detail while their husbands probably couldn't tell them what they wore yesterday. Every response landed, but they got nastier. The worst part wasn't the attacks. I've dealt with enemies. The worst part was watching Sarah's face light up every time her friends thought they landed a hit. The woman who used to defend me was now participating in my humiliation. By dessert, gloves were off. Direct comments about my masculinity, whether I was enough for her. The brunette leaned forward. I always wondered what it would be like being married to someone so manageable. Must be nice having a husband who just goes along with whatever you want. Manageable, like a trained pet. I set down my coffee. Manageable is interesting. I prefer choosing battles wisely, though I'm wondering if I've been too selective. Tell me, how's your marriage working? From what I hear, your husband's been manageable lately, especially with those late nights at the office. Her face went white. Her friends hadn't filled her in about her husband's secretary. The blonde jumped in. Someone's getting defensive. So cute when men try to act tough. Called out for what? I asked with dangerous calm. For paying? For showing up when my wife asked? Or for not rolling over while you practice therapy at my expense? The redhead laughed, forced. This is exactly what we mean. So sensitive. Sarah deserves someone who can handle teasing. Teasing? I repeated. Where I come from, teasing is affectionate. This feels like a coordinated attack planned for weeks. Dead silence. I'd hit the target. I looked at Sarah and saw someone I didn't recognize. She was vibrating with excitement at the drama she'd helped create. You're being ridiculous, she finally said. They're just having fun. If you can't handle girl talk, maybe you should have stayed home. Something cold settled in my chest. Perfect clarity. The blonde went for the kill. Exactly. This is why women need girls' nights, so we can be ourselves without worrying about fragile male egos. Honesty? I nodded. Let me return the favor. I looked at each of them. Your relationships end because you tear men down to build yourself up. It's insecurity dressed as empowerment. You've been living off alimony while telling everyone you're finding yourself, and you've been so busy judging marriages that you haven't noticed your own husband checking out. Deafening silence. 3 women who could dish it couldn't take it, but Sarah's reaction was the final nail. You're being unfair. They're my friends, and you're embarrassing me. Embarrassing her. I was embarrassing her by defending myself. I stood up. Strong women? I see 3 bullies who get their kicks tearing people down, and a wife who thinks it's acceptable to use her husband as entertainment. Sarah shot up, panicked. Sit down. We can talk later. Talk about what? How you invited me to pay while they explained everything wrong with me? Her mask slipped. The fake concern disappeared, replaced by cold irritation. If you can't tolerate my friend's jokes, then pay the bill and leave. The restaurant went dead quiet. She just said it out loud. My only purpose was to pay for their entertainment. I reached for my wallet, set it on the table, and looked directly at Sarah. You're absolutely right. You can pay with that ring on your finger. It's over. Complete silence. Sarah's mouth fell open. Her friends stared in shock. You heard me, I said, picking up my wallet. Find someone else to disrespect for the privilege of paying your bills. I'm done. I walked toward the exit. Behind me, the blonde said, he's bluffing. 20 years of marriage, and she'd just reduced me to a payment method that should shut up or leave. I chose leave, and I wasn't coming back.